Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the Mechanoid Mangle? Tonight, in this corner, we have the current reigning champion of the collection, none other than Toy World's Evila Star! And in the opposing corner tonight, we have his challenger, the newcomer, Seige/Earthrise Astrotrain! Who's crowned king of the Cosmic Railroad? Find out tonight on Transformers Reviews.
Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticon.
Okay guys, I'm going to forewarn you right now, this may be a little bit longer of a review than we normally do because we are actually taking a look at two figures that are very unique. So let's get right into it, and we're going to start off with Astrotrain because he is the contender for tonight. And he has a tender, which Astrotrain never really had. Now, does that totally ruin it? No, it actually helps the overall train aesthetic. Whereas Evila Star is more rocking the traditional, 1800s steam engine look, the only part of the Seige version, which, let's cut the crap guys, despite the fact this came in Earthrise packaging, this is very much a Seige figure. And the thing is the only 1800s part of it is this part right here with the light, the stack, and the front end. The rest of the body of the train is designed to be more like a 1920s steam engine. And then, of course, back here, the tender has got tank treads on it. Well, we'll come to that later as to why it does. The one thing that I do adore about this is that all the wheels roll on this thing, because far too often on Transformers we get like fake wheels and then they like the small little ones underneath that allow it to roll. Thank you, Hasbro. Evila Star, our boy over here. Okay, so see, the one thing I love about it, like I said, is the fact it looks like an 1800s steam engine. The other thing is, if you see, when the train wheels roll, they do like an actual steam engine. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry, I love this. Despite the fact that Seige is kind of a new interesting take, I'm sorry, train mode has go to Evila Star because he's just more faithful. Evila Star is rocking that bright purple that Astrotrain has in train mode. What I like to see in trains, especially this style of Old West, is to have the cab a little bit more pronounced like you would see on a real steam engine. Whereas these guys, their conductor cabs are more in line with the body. On the first round, it clearly goes to Evila Star, and the fact that he kind of has an unfair advantage over Astrotrain. The thing is he fits in between masterpieces and mainline, but definitely first round goes to Evila Star. There shall be no mercy on this one. So essentially you can take, Earthrise Astrotrain, set him up here on Launchpad, and there you go, if you want to have that playset value. Now, granted, this is cool because it does work well with the other Earthrise figures that use the connection system, so it actually makes a decent chunk of a base mode. Now, the reason that we said it had treads was whenever the shuttle's sitting on top of it, it's supposed to be like the crawler that brings the shuttle out. But as you can see, this part back here loves to pop up even without the shuttle mode, so that's a little disappointing. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna be brutally honest with this, because I see a lot of my favorite YouTubers, they glance over this. Half of it's good, but back here, the very back half of his shuttle, guys, this is an utter disaster. I really hate this shuttle. I'm sorry. I really want to like it. Literally, his back half looks like it's not finished. And then they just said, well, that's good enough. Hey, Hasbro, what were you guys thinking, man? At this point, you have literally messed up this figure to where he's half Astrotrain. Now, had they made the ramps able to detach, you could see that might have filled it in a little bit better. It's not too bulky, and it would have looked amazing. Okay, here's the thing. You shouldn't have to try to find a way to fix your figure. So at that option, if you take these guns and you plug them in top, to a degree, yes, it hides the top mess. Now, It gives an optical illusion because this back here, it visually kind of disappears more because you don't see how imbalanced the back half is compared to the front, because again, the guns are sort of concealing a little bit of that mess. So it makes it somewhat more passable. It's an incredible disappointment, and I'm sorry guys. If you like it, that's great. I'm actually glad you enjoy it. But for me, do you guys see where Toy World succeeded and Earthrise failed? This guy nailed it from what, like 2010? Here it is, 10 years later, Hasbro has a lot more at their disposal, and they're screwing it up. Okay, that was a little bit dramatized, but the point still remains. Because look at this shuttle mode. Look at how magnificent that is. As perfect as this is, it has one tiny little flaw. As you guys can see, the train wheels are on the inner side of the wings, and the arm that connects the wheels has a tendency to hang out. I'm sorry guys, but that one flaw right there is nothing. And maybe we could 3D print like something to fill in the sides. That would be great. If any of you guys want to work on that, let me know. Contact me. I'd be down with that. You know, just to help fix the shuttle mode, because if it just had like even like a faux cover for it, it would make his shuttle mode rise to meteoric excellence. Okay, and that you know what? I didn't even mean to make a joke, but I did there. Wasn't any wonder why he was packaged in robot mode? Because, okay, let's start off with Evila Star, because he's rocking the rifle that's very faithful to the Generation 1 guy. Plus, he's also rocking the bow tie. Also, he came with a visor because this guy has got some sick light piping. However, look at his legs. They are like gangly freak shows up in here. And that's weird because when you look at them from other angles, they're thick as pie because they're the, you know, the half of the shuttle. Now, in addition to that, as you can see, like in shuttle mode, sometimes these little deals like to hang out, and you can see it in robot mode if his hand is in just the wrong position. The biggest issue with this Astrotrain is, if you guys can see, I've got something wedged in there between the body and the wing. You know, it's on both sides. But in robot mode, because they're just on these thin little tracks, and so typically the wings will actually drop down super low, and that does the champ no favors, okay? Unfortunately, guys, the champ loses the third round because Earthrise, in this instance, he is killing it in robot mode, and everything about him so much cleaner on the back than Evila Star. Now, I know I was really brutal on his shuttle mode, but if there's one place that he completely does a 180, guys, it is in his robot mode. This is probably the most true to form, you know, of Astrotrain in his robot mode, and that is killer. The only thing that people generally take issue with is the fact of how short he is. But the thing is I'm actually okay with him being a Voyager class. Had he been a little bit bigger, okay, I would have been fine with that. But you know what? It's not killing it because this guy is awesome. And here is Astrotrain all armored up. Now, if you guys can see, he's kind of got a little bit of the seeker thing with the, guns mounted up there on the upper arms. He's also rocking the wrist-mounted rocket launcher, and then he's, his minigun and his other guns. So this dude has a plethora of them. He's literally heavy, back heavy anyway, and that's why they gave him these bigger feet. However, as you keep seeing, despite the fact that his feet are stabilized, the knees are where occasionally, if it gets too back heavy, he does that. So, most of the time I'm not going to have the tender attached to his back because I kind of think that's kind of silly. Plus, I think his robot mode feet were good enough as is before. With that being said, I just wanted to show you guys how he stacks up to a completely different take of Astrotrain. As far as the match goes, I want you guys in the comments down below, tell me which Astrotrain do you think is the superior guy. But until next time, guys, we will see you in another review.